Good evening, dear participants. Am I audible? Yes. Good evening, dear participants, and myself, Dr. Bennett, this International Research Methodology Workshop Secretary, welcoming you all for the final day Research Methodology Workshop on Citation Practices, Ratings, Intellectual Property Rights, and Proposal Writing. Today is the first day. Sorry, today is the last day. It seems like today is the first day, right? See how time and days goes, and we are about to complete the event today. Successfully, we have taken care of all the 22 hours uh, we have done, and today we have the final resource person. So let me invite Dr. Rashmi ma'am, the Department of Sociology, uh, one of the audience secretary of this international research methodology workshop, who has vibrantly worked with us for the past 2 weeks, and she will be taking care of the session now. Over to you, Dr. Rashmi ma'am. Rashmi ma'am, please unmute yourself, ma'am. You are muted. Okay, fine. I think there is a technical issue from ma'am's side. Anyway, let me do the protocols. We are very happy to welcome you all, the dignitaries and all those participants, students, faculty members from Kashmir to Kanyakumari. We have a huge amount of uh, participants for this time. We have nearly about 330 participants with more than 61 uh, category with the person disability category, where we never charge any money for them. We are doing as a service. We are not a money oriented, so we are doing this as a service. At outset, I have to sincerely thank the authorities who made this event possible. Let me thank our director and managing director and the head in charge, Dr. Vasudevan sir, founder and managing director of Research and Development Cell, Integrated Institute of Disaster Management, IIDM, Vilupuram. And we have to thank the authorities from State Islamic University of Mother Indonesia. He is a good friend of mine and a great legend in the field of education. He is Dr. Associate Professor Dr. Abdul Gofur. He is acting as a vice dean in the faculty of education. And we have to thank all the collaborative institutions. We have to thank all the collaborative institutions, starting from Bishop Caldwell College, Department of Sociology, and Anjuman Arts, Science and Commerce College, Vijayapura, Karnataka, Department of Sociology, and uh, Department of Sociology, Bishop Caldwell College, headed by Department Ms. Jelin Pakirani, and Anjuman College, College authorities, Dr. Akia Hashmi ma'am, and Dr. Hashmi ma'am, full-time guest faculty from Department of Sociology, Karnataka State, Akka Mahadavi Women University, Vijayapura, Karnataka, and Dr. Mauneshwar Badigar sir, Assistant Professor in Department of Sociology, Government First Grade College and PG Center, Dharwad, Karnataka. And we have to thank Dr. Nidhi Sarup ma'am, Head and Assistant Professor, PG Department of Sociology, Guru Nanak National College, Doraha, Punjab. And our followers, four followers, Dr. K. Roshni Devi ma'am, former Head and Assistant Professor in Department of Home Science, Standard College, Manipur. So these are the collaborating institutions who have done this collaboration with us for this 12 days international venture. And we have to thankful to all the resource persons starting from day 1 to day 11, and Dr. Rakesh Thakur sir, Associate Professor of Sociology, and Dr. Annu Pius, the Assistant Professor Department of Social Work, And I have to thank Dr. R.K. Balasubramanian sir, Assistant Professor, the Department of Education, and I have to thank Dr. R. Subhashini ma'am, an assistant of the senior grade in the Department of English, and I have thanked Dr. Arul Tovin Krisaraj sir from the Department of Social Work, and Dr. Janaki, Associate Professor and Head the Department of Forensic Science. And for the past 3 days, we enjoyed the class of Ms. Anuja Shaman from Good Day Consultancy, Mumbai. And today we will be having one more resource person, beautiful legend. She's a professor. She's not an assistant professor, associate professor. She's a professor in the field of management in BGS B School, Bangalore, and she is also working as a contributing as a research supervisor in the University of Mysore, Karnataka. And regarding the team, we have a great team with us, technical team with us. We have a dispatching team for certificates, and we have a lot of team to work with us. Sincere thanks to Divakar, sincerely thankful to Dr. Marimutu, sincerely thankful to Mr. Shekhar, and all the people who worked behind with me. And we have a coordinator also for this event. And a lot of people worked with us to make this event a great one. And resource person for the day, Dr. S. Sriranjani, ma'am. She is working as a professor at BGSB School, Bangalore, and currently she is working as a research supervisor at the University of Mysore, Karnataka, one of the reputed institution in Karnataka. University of Mysore, one of the oldest and ancient university in Karnataka. It's a great thing to become a research guide in such kind of reputed institutions. And she has been published with a number of books, and she has done a lot of resources. And apart from resources, she has been acted as a resource person in various national as well as international ventures. So that much quality she has. And actually, we have booked her for another one more event. Unfortunately, we are not able to give time for her. When we are able to give time for her, she's not able to come. When she gave the time, we are not able to come. And suddenly, I also felt sick. Actually, this event we have scheduled in the month of February. In the month of February beginning, we started to have this event. But unfortunately, I met with cardiac arrest, and I was hospitalized for 60 days. And everything, all the plans has been collapsed because of my medical emergency. And apart from that, many people supported me in various aspects. And Sri Ranjani ma'am is among the one. She used to text me and used to motivate me with their thoughts. She will tell me, "Sir, you will get well soon, sir. Don't worry, we will be here with you." So those words only make me so stronger, and I was really fortunate to run this event after a long time. Doctor told not to talk, not invite anyone. I never talk with anyone, but daily I have to speak for 12 days. But I never requested anyone to make it as an excuse, because once we are organized, we have to organize. Dear faculty members, I can say one thing. There is lot of differences between dedication and commitment. We dedicatively work, right? But commitment that matters. At what level we are reaching, we are taking our dedication. That is called as commitment, right? So sincerely thankful to all the participants who trusted us and registered us for this international venture. And whenever we used to organize an event, we won't organize for the money shake. First of all, we will prepare the syllabus first. Once the syllabus is done, we will send to our director, and then we will send to our authorities. Once everyone is accepted, then we will go for collaborations. Once the collaboration is done, we will go for booking what was that brochure, and then we will circulate. Lot of protocols we used to follow. And then also this time we got nearly about huge amount of participants. Even yesterday, day before yesterday, Professor Miss Anuja, she was really happy. And she told, "Sir, this is the first time I am having with a large amount of participants." And she is also able to learn many things. This is what we need. What we need. It is not about a one-way track. It is about everyone should know what was happening, what do you mean by research, and how we are supposed to do research. Everything we should know. This is what we are trying our level best, and we have succeeded in various aspects also. I'm really happy for that. Anyway, today we will be having our final day. Once it is done, we will give you the proper what was that notification regarding your certificates. Many asked me, sir, how you are calculating your attendance. And I told you there's a separate technical team to calculate your attendance. Only two people found not eligible for the certificates because they haven't attended any of the classes, and remaining people, 60 to 75 percentage people, they have attended more than 80 percentage of the classes. We are happy for that. The attendance itself shows that how many people are so much interested in that. Very good. And yesterday also the classes went well. Today is a final day, and without much delay, let me hand over the session to the concerned resource person for the day. Once it is done, we will go for healthy interactions, and then we will enter the session format. Over to you, ma'am. Yes, ma'am, you can unmute yourself now, ma'am. Sridhar, ma'am, you can unmute now. Are you able to unmute, ma'am? Yes, ma'am. Now you can do, ma'am.
Yes, sir. So hope I'm audible and visible, sir.
Yes, ma'am. You're audible and visible, ma'am.
Just give me a moment, sir. I'll just share my PPT.
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, hope my screen is visible.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Sir, thank you so much for those warm words and kind introduction, Dr. Bennett, sir. And good evening, all. I welcome each one of you to this 12-day international workshop on research methodology, citation practices, patents, intellectual property rights, and proposal writing, organized by Research and Development Cell, Integrated Institute of Disaster Management, IIDM, Villupuram, Tamil Nadu, and State Islamic University of Madura, Indonesia, in collaboration with so many esteemed institutions, that is Department of Sociology of St. Jude's College, Tamil Nadu, and Bishop Caldwell College, Tamil Nadu, Anjuman Arts, Science and Commerce College, Vijaypura, Karnataka, and Karnataka State Akkamahadevi Women University, Karnataka, Government First Grade College, Dharwad, Karnataka, and Chandrakamal Besbara Commerce College, Assam, as well as Department of Home Science, Standard College, Manipur. And today, I hope this is the final session, and we shall discuss about the dimensions of interdisciplinary research, a global view. So when we speak about interdisciplinary research, this topic itself actually reflects a significant shift in how knowledge is being created as well as applied in today's context. Now, let me begin with a simple question. Respected audience, what do you think? Are today's problems simple? What do you say? Be it any problem, whether it is social, economic, or our personal matters, anything. What do you think? Are they so simple today to deal with? Hope I am audible. No, yes, I'm getting so many no's, of course. So, not at all. Means those problems or issues, they are very complex as well as complicated. Let us take an example of healthcare. Means we are not just treating the diseases anymore. We are dealing with aging populations, there are mental health challenges, accessibility problems, and even there is the use of AI, artificial intelligence, in diagnosis. Correct. Now, we all get a doubt. Is this only medicine or also technology, psychology, public policy, ethics are involved? So please think over it. Even if you consider other fields like business and management, see, organizations, they are navigating too many, like digital transformation, employee well-being, sustainability, global competition. The list just goes on. Again, a question arises here. Is this just purely management, or does it even involve data science in it, behavioral science, as well as environmental studies? Take our education. We are constantly asking how to make learning more engaging in this digital world. So, is it again only we are speaking, are we discussing about pedagogy, or also is there psychology, technology, sociology, design, everything involved? Correct? Take a look at environmental challenges like climate change. So, we all realize that they are not just scientific issues anymore, but there is something like political, economic, behavioral fields also involved in this. And technology, no doubt, especially we are dealing with AI, artificial intelligence, we are not just innovating. We are also dealing with lot of ethical concerns. There are privacy concerns, biasness, governance, everything comes under this umbrella. So, respected audience, what do you observe from all these examples that we quoted? Is there anything important that we should learn? Anybody? So we discuss like 4 to 5 fields, and we understood one important insight. What is that? Would anybody like to share with us? All right. Sir, is there permission for the audience to just unmute themselves, or should they just type it in the
Yes,
chat
ma'am.
box?
Yes, ma'am. Right now, I have opened the meeting, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay, sir.
Now they can talk,
Yeah. Sumati ma'am
and
says
they
it is.
can reply the WhatsApp also. They can reverted you in the WhatsApp in the chat box also, ma'am.
Sure, sir. Thank you.
Check. Yeah.
Sumati ma'am says it is all interlinked. All right, ma'am. Thank you for that input. What about others? So, uh, what was the takeaway from the fields, whatever we discussed, the examples, small examples? Kalyan Bhattacharya ji sir says, no field can sustain all alone. Perfect. Interdisciplinary collaboration is required. Correct, sir. Yes. So, a very important insight is, as sir and ma'am rightly said, that problems are no more disciplinary. Means they just don't belong to one academic field or one subject anymore. See, earlier knowledge was neatly divided into silos. Means each discipline, it had its own boundaries, methods, frameworks. But what is happening? Today's challenges, they are being like complex, intricate, as sir said, interconnected, and even they are multi-layered. Means we are no longer asking which discipline can solve this particular problem. Instead, we are asking how can multiple disciplines come together to understand and address this problem, isn't it? And this is where our interdisciplinary research, IDR, it becomes essential. Now, let me ask you all, is interdisciplinary research means, is it simply mixing the subjects? What is your opinion, participants? So because you have told, yeah, that no field can sustain alone, everything is interlinked, is what I see from your inputs. So my question is, is interdisciplinary research means, is it just simply mixing a few subjects, or how is it? I hope the mic is open. You all can just unmute and you can share your thoughts with us. Anybody? When we speak about interdisciplinary research, it is not about a random combination. We cannot mix subjects like that. It is all about that meaningful integration. Means bringing together different perspectives, different methods, as well as frameworks, so as to create a deeper as well as more holistic understanding of these interconnected issues. See, in fact, many of the most impactful innovations today, they are emerging at the intersection of disciplines only. Whether you consider artificial intelligence in healthcare or behavioral economics in policy making or even data science in social research. Now, you may wonder, why do we emphasize a global view here? Correct? Because please understand, research today, it is no longer confined even within the national boundaries. Means it is just shaped by the international collaborations. We witness cross-cultural knowledge exchange and global frameworks such as we have United Nations SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals. Then we have the Paris Agreement. Then there is Global Health Security Agenda, the Sendai Framework for Disaster Risk Reduction, and the list again goes on. And different countries, they approach interdisciplinarity in different ways. What I mean by this? See, some countries, they may focus on innovation and industry. Others, they may focus on policy and social impact. And some, they may try to even integrate the traditional knowledge with modern science. Now, understanding this global dimension, this is what will help us to position our research more effectively and also engage with broader academic as well as practical communities. Okay, at this point, please reflect on one important question, dear participants. When you think about your own research, do you see it as belonging to just a single discipline or as a part of the larger problem that actually requires multiple perspectives? Okay. So with that shift in thinking from working within silos to thinking across systems, that is what becomes the true foundation of our IDR, interdisciplinary research. So with this perspective in our minds, let us now move forward and deepen our understanding about this. All right. Is my pace okay, dear participants? Am I too fast?
You're okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
Okay, sir. Yeah. Sorry, I was just explaining. I can see a few inputs here. Sumati ma'am says, according to the need based. Okay, ma'am. Uh, Vidushi ma'am says, creating more innovative solutions and insightful. Yes, it's helpful. Correct, ma'am. Ranjana Singh ma'am says, human life can only be understood through interdisciplinary approach. Perfect, ma'am. Preeti ma'am says, it is the approach to understand a particular context with various aspects. Super. Okay, okay, Preeti ma'am. Thank you. Yes. Now, let us understand interdisciplinary research through an existing real-world challenge. Now, let us consider an example. Urban air pollution in major cities. Yes, so this is a real world challenge. Everybody is facing this across the world. Now, if I say this urban air pollution in major cities, esteemed participants, please tell me this particular problem, it falls under which area or discipline? Urban air pollution in major cities. As simple as that. Can I quickly have the answers on chat box, please? I said urban air pollution in major cities. I just want to know from your side, this particular problem, it falls under which domain? That's it. Okay, I see so many answers here. Sindhuja ma'am, Ranjana ma'am, and they both say that it is environmental science and environmental pollution. Sumati ma'am, Preeti ma'am says environmental science and environmental sociology. All right. Thank you for those inputs. Yes, at a surface level, what you said is it may appear to be an environmental issue only. I perfectly agree with this. But if we take a closer look, it reveals that it is a multi-dimensional problem. See, first I'll take your point only, environmental science. Because environmental science help us to measure the pollution levels and we can identify the sources of pollution. But that alone does not provide us a solution to solve this air pollution. Now, we want engineering that contributes to this by developing cleaner technologies as well as emission control systems. Then we also have to bring in public policy that plays a crucial role in framing and also enforcing the regulations. Now, why should we leave economics aside? Because economics becomes important in assessing the cost implications and designing the incentives for industries. Correct? Now, behavioral science is also there in the queue. Because it helps us in understanding and influencing all the public practices, such as their transportation choices. Our transportation choices, our fuel usage patterns, and even our everyday lifestyle decisions. So, in addition to that, why should we leave data science? Because it is enabling us to analyze the patterns. It allows us to model the scenarios, and also it is there to predict the future risks. Now, through this example, what we observe here is a systematic integration of methods, theories, as well as frameworks that are drawn from multiple disciplines. Correct? And each it is addressing a different dimension of the same problem. Audience, is the idea coming through clearly? Yes? Can you just give a thumbs up? Yes or no? All right. Okay. Now, at this point, an important question arises again. Can any single discipline independently provide such a comprehensive solution to such kind of problem? Now, we all know that the answer clearly is no. And this is precisely why IDR, interdisciplinary research, it moves beyond single discipline problem solving. Means it is not replacing the disciplinary depth, but we are trying to connect and extend it through collaboration. And such an approach, it becomes essential because as we all know, the real world problems are inherently, they are complex. They are dynamic as well as most of you said, they are interconnected. Simple. It requires simultaneous consideration of technical, social, economic, as well as policy dimensions. Correct? Even if we look at the global developments, many impactful solutions, say such as the integrated urban planning, sustainable mobility systems, even green infrastructure, all of them, they have emerged only through the convergence of multiple disciplines that are working together, especially in a structured manner. Now, this is highlighting us an important reality. What is that? Interdisciplinary research, it is not merely, you cannot call it as an academic preference, but it is a globally recognized driver of innovation. And it is enabling us to move beyond those, the fragmented understanding towards holistic, implementable, along with scalable solutions. All right. Now, why interdisciplinary research matters today? See, audience, just think about something we all use every day without even a second thought. That is digital transactions. We all do it, correct? Yes? No? Yes, it's obvious. Because we use UPI payments every now and then. We just go to a shop, we scan a QR code, or we just do our online banking, card payments, tap to pay. But behind all these conveniences, there also lies a sophisticated world of cybercrime that we all know about it, but we rarely pause to examine it. Correct? So just imagine a situation where a large number of people suddenly they start losing their money through online fraud. Okay. At first, it may just appear to be purely a technical issue to us. Correct? Means something that is related to hacking or something that has taken place because of system vulnerabilities. But just think over it. Is it really only a technology problem? Not quite. So when we examine it closely, we realize that preventing cybercrime, it requires much more than just having one strong software. Because again, you see, law and
வாக்கிங் பண்ணலாமா? வெளில வாக்கிங் பண்ணலாமா?
participants, I just request you to please mute
hotel book
yourselves.
பண்ணிட்டீங்களா? Ma'am, really sorry, ma'am.
It's okay, sir. Not a problem. Yeah, I was just trying to tell you, when we speak about cybercrime, it involves like again so many disciplines. We want law and regulation, then only we can define and we can punish such kind of offenses. Then there is psychology to understand how users are manipulated, especially through phishing or through social engineering activities. Then we also need economics so that we can assess the financial risks and incentives. Even we need public awareness, education, then only we can build the digital literacy. Correct? Now, what this clearly shows is that multi-dimensional global challenges, again, they are demanding for integrated solutions. Means multiple domains must work together so as to create one effective as well as sustainable outcomes. Now, if we expand this further, see, issues like cybercrime, they are directly connected to broader concerns because ethics comes here, privacy, governance, as well as long-term digital sustainability. Say, for example, how much data to be collected? Who is responsible when systems fail? Or how do we balance innovation with user protection? So these are not purely technical questions what I'm asking. And do you know, all these questions, they exist at the junction of multiple disciplines again. Because we don't get solution from a single discipline, isn't it? So again, this is reflecting how modern challenges are deeply interconnected. Wouldn't you agree? And at the same time, if you take the industries that are operating, say, in fintech, finance technology, cybersecurity, or even the digital platforms, they all are increasingly looking for professionals who can go beyond their technical expertise. And they need individuals who can understand the user behavior, who can understand the regulatory frameworks, and also they must be in a position to manage the risk alongside the technology. So this is what has strengthened the importance of the cross-domain collaboration between academia as well as industry. And see, solutions today, they are expected to be not only efficient, but also they must be secure for us. It must come in an ethical way. Plus, it must always be user-centric. Correct? Then another significant shift you can call, can be seen in how research in this area is being supported. See, because funding bodies, global institutions, they are actively encouraging the projects that combine technology with social sciences, law, policy, and so on. Means it is recognizing that isolated approaches cannot address the evolving digital risks so effectively. Again, this example is clearly indicating to us that collaborative and interdisciplinary research, it is becoming a priority, correct, in shaping the secure as well as trustworthy digital ecosystems. So now, obviously, it has become evident to us that IDR, interdisciplinary research, It is no longer just an academic approach. So it has become a practical necessity in addressing the real world problems. And all these real world problems are again multifaceted. They are transforming day by day, and also they are globally relevant. Okay. Hope we are clear so far, audience. Are we clear so far? Yes. Okay. All right. Now, when we speak of IDR, see, we are not merely referring to the involvement of just some multiple disciplines here and there, but we are actually talking about a reconfiguration of how knowledge itself is structured and how it is applied. Now, these key dimensions, it help us to understand those kind of shifts more clearly. Okay. Now, to properly appreciate the dimensions of idea, let us take an example of disaster management. Okay. Yes, because we have our IIDM with us today. Now, let us take disaster management means simply responding to some floods or earthquakes, and let us see how each dimension operates within the same context. First, there is conceptual integration. So, conceptual integration means it begins with how we actually define the problem itself. So, you cannot view disaster only as a natural event, correct? We have environmental science that explains the physical causes for it, for any such kind of disaster. Then we have sociology, which examines how different communities are affected. Then we have economics that evaluates the scale of damage as well as recovery. Now, when we bring all these perspectives together, the disaster it is understood as a multi-layered phenomenon. Why do I say this? Because it is involving the natural forces. There is human vulnerability as well as we also witness a economic consequence. Now, this integrated understanding is what becomes the foundation for meaningful intervention from our side. Next, we have methodological integration. So, this focuses on how we study and analyze the situation. So we have scientific tools like satellite imaging or predictive modeling. This provides us the quantitative data about which are the risk zones and what is their impact level at that place, such kind of things. At the same time, the field surveys, what you do, and the interviews, what you take with the affected communities, all this is going to provide us with the qualitative insights. Means we can understand what is their human experiences, what is their preparedness, and what exactly is their response behavior. Now, when we combine such kind of methods, the research, please understand, it never remains as abstract. Instead, it becomes both data-driven as well as context-sensitive. Means it is improving the accuracy as well as the relevance of our findings. Don't you all think so? Yes? Okay. Then we have collaborative dimension. Now, this is seen in how multiple experts they work together during this disaster response. Now, what engineers do here? They start designing the infrastructure to withstand the future risks. Next, we have the medical teams who will be addressing the immediate health concerns. And administrators will come and they coordinate the logistics. And social organizations are always there to support the rehabilitation process. So, all these efforts, it must be aligned and coordinated. Am I right? Again, if we speak about this, this is time and again demonstrating that IDR, it is not just about knowledge, but about effective collaboration across domains. Then only we can achieve one common goal. Isn't it? Okay. Next, moving to innovation and commercialization. See, interdisciplinary approaches usually lead to practical solutions. Say, for example, the early warning systems, the resilient housing models, disaster prediction technologies, all of them are developed by combining engineering. There comes environmental science as well as data analytics. Now, these innovations, it shows to us that how research can move from theoretical understanding to real world applications. In the meanwhile, what is happening? It is reducing the risk and it is also enhancing our preparedness. This is what we want from it, correct? From any kind of research, we are expecting such kind of practical and real solutions only. Then the global and cultural dimension. This reveals that disaster management strategies must adapt to different contexts. See, the way communities respond to disasters, it varies again based on their cultural practices, their local knowledge, as well as the resources that are available to them, isn't it? Therefore, IDR, it incorporates both the global best practices as well as the local realities. Means again, it is ensuring that the solutions, whatever has been given from multiple disciplines, they are relevant, they are adaptable, as well as culturally appropriate to those places. Okay, finally, we have, excuse me, the institutional and policy dimension. This determines how effectively all these efforts they are supported and implemented. See, the government policies, funding systems, the institutional frameworks, all of them, they play a critical role in supporting the coordination, research, along with some action. So when policies encourage such kind of integrated planning and when they are making the way for cross-sector collaboration, the interdisciplinary research, it can translate into efficient and it can definitely show the large scale impact. Okay, so what did you understand from this example, dear participants? So we just discussed the disaster management example, taking all the key dimensions here. What could you understand from that? I hope you can unmute yourselves and you can share your thoughts. All right. So what we understood from this example is we can see that each dimension, it is adding a distinct layer and together they make IDR more comprehensive, actionable, as well as impactful. Okay. Yes. Sumati ma'am says research to practice by integrating various dimensions. Correct, ma'am. Preeti ma'am says to understand a particular context, it varies from subject to subject. Yes. Thank you, ma'am. Okay. Now let us understand each of these dimensions in a much deeper way. Now, when we refer to the conceptual integration dimension, means we are essentially focusing on the level of ideas. That is, in simple words, how knowledge itself is framed, how it is interpreted, and then how it is restructured actually when multiple disciplines they come together. Now, before any methods are applied or collaborations begin, the interdisciplinary research first it transforms the way a problem is understood at a conceptual level itself. So audience, please understand this dimension, it is important because if at all the conceptual foundation, let us say it remains narrow, even if you use the most advanced methods, it is going to produce just the limited insights to us. So conceptual integration, it's like about expanding and refining the intellectual lens through which we are viewing that particular problem. Got the point? Okay. Now, let us move into the first aspect. It speaks about blending theories across disciplines. Now, most of you said every discipline it operates with its own theoretical foundations. Means which guide how it is explaining the reality. See, when IDR begins, interdisciplinary research begins, all these theories, they are not simply placed side by side. No, one is from economics, one is from management. No, we are not doing that. Instead, we are examining it in relation to each other. Of course, yes, one thing what you have in your mind, in your minds, I understood. Some concepts may align, other concepts may contradict. Correct. But definitely, this interaction it forces a deeper level of thinking. Correct. So therefore, this blending is not mechanical, but it is a critical engagement with multiple theoretical perspectives. Our goal is to enhance the explanatory depth instead of replacing one theory with another. We are not doing that. We are not even trying to do that. Okay. And through this process, as researchers, we all begin to see the connections and limitations that are not actually visible within a single disciplinary framework. Okay. And building on this, let us move to the development of hybrid frameworks. See, once theories they start interacting, there arises a need for like more stable structure that can hold all these integrated ideas together. Now, hybrid frameworks are nothing but they are the outcome of this process only. Means don't think because the name is hybrid, they are not borrowed models, but new conceptual structure. They are the new conceptual structures that combine elements from different disciplines and they put it into one coherent system. Okay, and these frameworks they become particularly valuable. Why do I say this? Because they allow us, the researchers, we can approach the problems that actually do not fit neatly into the existing categories whatever we have, and they provide flexibility. Plus, they also maintain that intellectual rigor. In simple words, it is empowering us to study those complex as well as that evolving phenomena. Okay, then we have the next important element. It is the emergence of shared research question. So this is a critical turning point in interdisciplinary work. See, initially, each discipline, it approaches a problem with its own set of questions. But as the integration it progresses, these questions will be re-evaluated and reshaped. The focus it now shifts from discipline-specific concerns to actually problem-centric inquiry. So please note this shared research questions, they are broader, they are like more inclusive, and also they are capable of capturing multiple dimensions of an issue. Means you can call it as a an unifying force which is guiding us, the researchers who are from like different backgrounds towards a common objective. Okay. And finally, to understand how all these elements they come together, we can just look at an example of behavioral economics. See, traditional economic theories, they were built on the assumption of rational decision making. Correct. But real world observations, it showed that there are consistent deviations from this assumption. See, the insights from psychology, it brought attention to the cognitive biases as well as the emotional influences. Correct. Now, the integration of these perspectives, it did not simply add some new variables here and there, but it transformed the foundational understanding of human decision making itself. And this has led to the development of a new conceptual framework, means that is better reflecting how individuals actually behave in the economic context. So, conceptual integration dimension. I request all the participants to please mute yourselves.
Ma'am, wait a minute, ma'am. I will lock the meeting.
Sure.
Yes, ma'am. Now you can unlock, ma'am. Now you can unmute yourself and talk.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, fine.
Okay. So I was just trying to tell you that conceptual integration dimension, it is not only about combining some random ideas at the surface level. We are never doing that. It is all about, please understand, redefining the problems, reshaping the theories, and also constructing new ways of understanding that deeply embedded realities. That is the thing. Okay. Now, when we move from conceptual integration to the methodological integration dimension, means we are essentially shifting from how we think about a problem to how we actually investigate and produce knowledge about that. And this is where interdisciplinarity it becomes operational. See, because no matter how strong your ideas are, the real strength of your research that lies in how rigorously and appropriately you study the problem as a researcher. Correct? Yes. So that's what makes you different from the other researcher. Now, the first layer here is mixed methods research. So when I say mixed methods research, what is this concept, audience? I hope you can type it on in the chat box. Point number 1, mixed methods research. Anybody? So my question is simple. Yes. Uh, Ravufu Nisha ma'am says combination of quantitative and qualitative. Yes. Uh, okay. Sumati ma'am says using two or more research design. Correct, ma'am. Kushi ma'am says qualitative plus quantitative. All right. Yes, respected participants, you are true to a certain extent. But let me make this very clear. See, when we speak about mixed methods, it is not just about using two types of data. So what do I mean by this? It is all about designing a research strategy where different methods they answer different parts of the same problem itself. Means I'm saying that one method may help you to identify the patterns and another method it may help you to understand the reasons behind those patterns. Now, your real expertise as a researcher, it lies in knowing why a particular method is being used, when it should be used, and how its findings connect with others. So, mixed methods, never think it like something like an addition. It is, I would like to call it, it is a methodological orchestration. Yes. And building on this, we come to the quantitative and qualitative integration. So traditionally, these two approaches, they were seen as opposites. See, because as you all rightly said, one focused on measurement and the another one it focused on meaning. Am I right? But IDR, interdisciplinary research, it does not treat them as competing. It actually treats them as complementary lenses. See, quantitative analysis, it gives you the scale, trends, as well as generalizability. Now, similarly, qualitative insights, it gives you the depth. You can understand the context as well as you can interpret, right? Now, the real sophistication, it lies in integrating these two during your analysis. There is no beauty in just collecting them separately. So when this is done well, numbers are explained by narratives, or you can call them as insights. And these insights, they are validated by your patterns. The patterns you observe. Okay. Now, here is where our modern research it takes a powerful turn. Means there is the use of computational tools across domains. See, by now we all are aware that today's research is no longer limited to traditional tools of a single discipline. Because we have data analytics, we have ML, machine learning, there are simulations, digital platforms, all are being used across many fields. You name it, social sciences, healthcare, management, all of us we use it. Correct? Now, what is important here is not just using the tools, but translating the problems into forms uh, that computational systems can analyze. And then it can interpret those outputs meaningfully, especially within that particular research context. Now, don't you think this requires both technical competence as well as conceptual clarity? See, for example, in genomics, computational tools, it analyze that massive DNA data sets. Then it can identify the risks of the disease. But biological complexity, shouldn't it be translated into the computational models? Correct? Because then only it can be interpreted carefully for the application in medicine, isn't it? And finally, we arrive at one of the most advanced aspects, that is data driven interdisciplinary modeling. So, this is where different types of data, I mean, from different domains, they are brought together to build the models that can simulate, predict, or even explain those complex or compound systems. See, these models, they are not just confined to one discipline. Because when you observe it, they integrate variables, relationships, and even dynamics from multiple fields. Now, the challenge here is not just building the model, but we have to ensure that it reflects the real world complexity, again without oversimplification. So, this is where IPR truly it is demonstrating its analytical strength. Correct? So methodological integration, it is not just about using more number of methods, but it is about using the right combination of methods in the right way to capture the full heterogeneity of that particular problem. Okay? Yes. Hope we are clear so far, audience. All right. Okay. Now, when we speak about the collaborative dimension, we are actually looking at how knowledge today it is no longer produced individually, but through something what can be called as distributed intelligence. Means here multiple people, institutions, as well as systems, they contribute to a single research outcome. Now let us begin with multi-institutional teams. See, if we observe major global research outputs, a significant proportion of the highly cited papers today, if you observe properly, they are not just from single institutions. See, in fact, multiple studies, means including even those which are published in the leading journals, be it Nature or PLOS ONE, they have shown that research involving multiple institutions and international collaboration, it actually tends to achieve higher citation impact. Do you know why? Simple. Because it brings together the complementary expertise as well as resources. Say, for example, the large scale health studies or the climate modeling projects, they usually involve universities, the research labs, as well as the field organizations who are working together. Means, please understand, each of them is contributing a different layer of knowledge. And this kind of collaboration, this is what allows your research to move beyond the limited data sets or to move beyond that limited perspectives into something that is far more comprehensive. Now, extending this further, we see the rise of international co-authorship. Can I just have a quick show of hands? Who here has co-authored or worked with researchers from outside your country? Just with emojis, you can let me know. So my question is simple. Have you co-authored with somebody else? I mean the researchers from outside your country. That's it. Yes, Sumati ma'am says yes. What about others? Have you worked with the researchers from other countries? Only Sumati ma'am? What about others? Okay, Khushi ma'am says not yet. Others? Okay. So whoever has worked or co-authored with others, that's definitely excellent. And you are already part of the global research ecosystem, ma'am. Now, according to the global research reports, see over 25 to 30% of research publications today, they involve international collaboration, correct? And this number, if you watch carefully, it is actually continuing to grow. Do you know why? Because many research problems, they are global in nature, and solutions to it requires your diverse concept contextual inputs. Say if you take studies on migration, public health, or even digital economies, they frequently involve the researchers from multiple countries because they are trying to ensure through their research that findings are not biased towards a single context. But what is interesting here is not just the collaboration. It is your ability to synthesize diverse perspectives into a coherent narrative. Means, again, it is requiring both your intellectual as well as cultural adaptability, isn't it? Next, moving to academia industry partnerships. So, this is where collaboration becomes directly linked to the impact. Now you can see, like you can take a strong example. It can be seen in the development of renewable energy technologies. Means here, academic research may be on materials and efficiency. What happens with it? It combines with the industry expertise, maybe in production and scalability. Correct. Another example you can take is pharmaceuticals. Universities, they conduct foundational research, and industry definitely takes it forward into clinical trials and commercialization of it. Now, this kind of collaboration, it confirms that research does not remain just confined only to the journals today, but it is translating into real world applications that is affecting our society at a large. Correct? Finally, let us consider research consortia. This represents collaboration at its most structured level. See, the large international projects, maybe in space research, climate science, digital infrastructure, they are mostly conducted through consortia involving dozens of institutions. Do you know what research consortia means, respected audience? Are you aware of it? It's okay, Preeti ma'am. What about others? Okay. Vedamani Devi ma'am says no. All right, ma'am. No problem. See, research consortia, they are, you can call it as organized and multi-institutional collaborations. Now you may get a doubt, why is it they are formed? Mainly to tackle complex problems that no single institution can address alone. Now, these setups, it allows the team of teams, especially for shared funding, shared data, as well as they take the shared responsibility. Means they are enabling the research that would be impossible for any one single organization to undertake alone. So that said, they also highlight an important point that collaboration at this level, it requires clear governance. There must be defined roles as well as strong coordination mechanisms. Then only they can function effectively. So even if you observe the trend over the last 2 decades, the most influential research, it is no longer coming from the standalone efforts, correct? Not from single individual or single institution or from the single discipline. Means it is emerging from the networks of collaboration. and knowledge is co-created across the boundaries. So this collaborative dimension, it is not just about working together, it's about building the systems of shared intelligence. Means here the value of research, it increases as our perspectives also start to expand. Okay. Yes. Now, when we examine the institutional and policy dimension of IDR, we are mainly looking at the structural backbone that determines whether our interdisciplinary efforts can actually take shape, can they sustain themselves and generate some impact. So we saw that the earlier dimensions, they focused on ideas, methods, as well as collaboration, isn't it? Now, this dimension, it addresses a more fundamental question. Means what kind of environment allows IDR to exist and grow? Everybody has that question in our minds. Now, if I ask you the same question, audience, what do you say? What kind of environment is allowing IDR to exist and grow? Or let me put it in simple words. What kind of support is needed for IDR to flourish? Who should support, or how should we obtain the support for IDR to grow? IDR is interdisciplinary research. Okay, Sumati ma'am says funding agencies. Yes, ma'am, correct. Cooperatives says Khushi ma'am. Okay, ma'am. Others? So my question is very simple. How do this environment of interdisciplinary research, how does it succeed? That's it. Okay. So with those inputs, let me tell you, say research, it does not operate in vacuum. Correct. And it is deeply influenced by the institutional structures, the governance mechanisms, funding priorities, as ma'am rightly said, as well as the policy directions. Now, if at all, just think, all these structures, they are rigid or they are just discipline bound, and even those evaluation systems are narrowly defined. IDR, interdisciplinary research, it struggles to even begin. Let us say, on the other hand, when institutions and policies are designed with flexibility and when they have integration in their minds, they actively enable new forms of knowledge creation. It happens naturally. So let us begin with national research missions. Now, national research missions, they play a critical role in shaping the research direction at a macro level. See, these missions are typically designed around the large societal or developmental goals, rather than just looking them from the one academic discipline. No. Let us say, for instance, when a country prioritizes areas like sustainable urban development, digital governance, or even public health systems, now it implicitly requires contributions from multiple fields. Correct? Because we want technology here, there must be management, social sciences, law, and even beyond. What is important here is such missions create a policy driven impact for interdisciplinarity. Means researchers are encouraged. Sometimes even they will be compelled to move ahead of their disciplinary boundaries. Then only they can remain relevant. Next, moving to the institutional level, see interdisciplinary research, the interdisciplinary research centers, they represent a structural response to this particular type of need. Now, do you know how these centers function? Is anybody aware of the interdisciplinary research centers? Nirupa ma'am says cloud funding. Yes, ma'am. Preeti ma'am says collaborative work with peaceful environment. Perfect. Dr. Aruna Kumar sir says financial. Correct, sir. Putul Chakrabarti sir says financial and liberal environment. Perfect, sir. Thank you for all those answers. Yeah. I was just asking you the point number 2. Do you know how interdisciplinary research centers work? participants? Anybody? See, unlike our traditional departments, means which are organized around specific disciplines. Okay. These centers, they are typically organized around the problems, themes, or application areas. It is not like subject-wise or field-wise. Now, this shift may appear administrative to us, but it has deep implications. Means it changes how researchers interact, how projects are designed, and even how the knowledge actually flows. See, when a researcher is physically and intellectually situated in such an environment, the interdisciplinary engagement becomes embedded in everyday practice. Means it will never become like something like occasional or the irregular effort from our departments. Correct? And another crucial component, it is the design of funding models that encourage such kind of collaboration. See, funding, it is not just a resource, but it is a signal of what kind of research is being valued. And increasingly, funding agencies, they structure their calls in a way that actually requires some multidisciplinary teams, and it requires cross-institutional participation, or there will be some alignment with broader societal goals. So this changes even our behavior. I mean the researcher behavior also. See, instead of working in separation, as researchers, we all can begin to seek partnerships. We can align our methodologies and also frame our proposals in integrative ways. Don't you all think so? And in this sense, funding mechanisms actively shape the nature of research itself. Okay. Then at the university level, see the policies promoting the cross department research, they become equally important to us. See, all our traditional academic systems, they mostly operate in silos because we have some divided departments, separate evaluation criteria, and even promotion systems also. Now, nevertheless, IDR, it requires flexibility. Like we need that joint supervision of our students, the co-authored publications across departments, or we all sharing our teaching responsibilities. And even it needs the recognition of this collaborative work. See, when universities they introduce such kind of policies, that means they are not just making some sort of administrative changes. Instead, they are reshaping the academic culture to support that integration. And at a deeper level, what ties all these elements together is the idea of alignment. Means IDR, it thrives when there is an alignment between the policy priorities and research agendas, between the institutional structures and the researcher needs, correct? And between the funding incentives as well as our collaborative practices. See, if at all such kind of alignment exists, then the interdisciplinary work, it becomes sustainable as well as scalable. If it does not, as researchers, we have to largely face some structural barriers, like we will be having limited funding access and there is no institutional support, or the evaluation systems which we have that do not recognize such kind of collaborative contributions at all. And there is also an important challenge within this dimension. See, while policies may encourage that interdisciplinarity, but our institutions must ensure that it does not become superficial, or it is just for the purpose of, or it is just like symbolic. Correct? So true interdisciplinary support, it requires long-term commitment. There must be resource allocation as well as flexibility in governance. We don't need some short-term initiatives. Correct? So the institutional and policy dimension, this is reminding us that IDR, it is not sustained by individual effort alone, but it is sustained by the ecosystems that are deliberately designed to enable integration, a collaboration, as well as having long-term impact. Okay. Now we come to the global view, international models. Now, to understand how interdisciplinary research is implemented in practice, let us look at some global models. See, different regions have adopted distinct approaches, but all of them they emphasize integration across disciplines. Yes, then only they have understood that we can address the demanding challenges. At first, we have NSF, the National Science Foundation. So, this is a major research funding agency in the US, United States, and it supports advanced scientific as well as interdisciplinary research. Now, this body it focuses on what we call as convergence research. Means multiple disciplines are integrated from the very beginning to solve the layered problems. See, in practice, this NSF, it has supported areas like smart healthcare, advanced AI systems. Means it is trying to bring the computer scientists, the medical experts, engineers, all of them to work together to develop tools because they have developed the tools like early disease prediction systems as well as the intelligent diagnostic platforms. And through such kind of initiatives, this NSF it has significantly contributed to the innovation driven technology based interdisciplinary solutions. Then we also have Horizon Europe. This is the European Union's flagship research and innovation program, that is Horizon Europe. So it is mainly designed to fund the large scale and interdisciplinary projects only across Europe, and it follows a mission driven approach. Means research it is organized say around solving the major societal challenges, be it climate change or sustainable cities, public health, and so on. So in terms of implementation, this Horizon Europe it has supported projects like the carbon neutral cities and green energy systems. Means again multiple disciplines including engineering, economics, environmental science, all of them, and even policy, all of them they come together to create the real world solutions. And these projects are implemented at city as well as even at the regional levels of Europe. They are directly impacting the infrastructure, sustainability, as well as even their quality of life. And I hope most of you know about the ICSSR, correct? Indian Council of Social Science Research. So participants, what exactly ICSSR do? Anybody? Yeah, Khushi ma'am says assembling experts from different fields, correct ma'am? Dr. Arun Kumar sir says by conducting assembly about interdisciplinary from different fields. All right, I hope this was for the previous question. Now my question is the third point, Indian Council of Social Science Research, ICSSR. What exactly does this body do? Okay, Prasanna Kumar sir says promotes social science research across varied disciplines. Correct, sir. Others? Would anybody like to share your thoughts about ICSSR? Ravu Funisha ma'am says provide fellowship for interdisciplinary studies. Yes, ma'am. Ram Kumar sir says it is a fund for the proposed projects. Yes, it provides funding. Correct, sir. Yes. Vidushi Mishra ma'am says it involves policy making and contribute social and economic development. Yes, ma'am. Perfect. So, as we all know, ICSSR it's a key research body in India that promotes interdisciplinary work, as most of you said, and it is particularly in the social sciences and their integration with other fields. Okay. Now, its focus is on addressing the real societal challenges like rural development, education, governance, social equity, and so on. So in practice, ICSSR, it supports the projects like rural livelihood, urban informal sector studies. Again, here, economists, sociologists, policy makers, development experts, all of them, they collaborate to design the solutions like income generation models, or if at all they have to give some policy recommendations, or even to conduct some community based programs, they're always together, they collaborate together. And these initiatives, they are implemented even at the grassroots level. Means this is directly influencing the communities plus the social systems. So each model here, it shows a different approach. See, US of A, United States of America, it focuses on innovation, and Europe on the mission-based solutions, and India on social impact. But one thing we all have to remember is all of them, they rely on IDR, interdisciplinary research, to create meaningful change. All right. See, when we say research and IP, intellectual property, we are referring to the relationship between knowledge creation and ownership. Correct? So research, it generates new ideas, discoveries, technologies, as well as it gives us some solutions. But once something new is created, again a critical question arises. Simple. You all know about it. Who owns this knowledge? Right? Intellectual, because this is intellectual property. Who has the right to use it? Who has the right to share it? Who can commercialize it? Am I right? And this is where IP, intellectual property, definitely comes in, and it provides us a legal as well as a structured way to protect our ideas, recognize our contributions, and also it reinforces that innovation can be responsibly used as well as rewarded. So, in interdisciplinary research, this becomes even more important. Now, why do I say this? Because multiple people are involved and contributions are coming from different fields, and ownership is again shared, and in general it is even complex. So this slide, it is basically about how innovation created through collaboration, how it is being managed, how it is being protected, and how it is being distributed fairly. Joint patents, have you come across this concept, respected audience? Yeah, Amita ma'am says fundings for the seminars. Yes, ma'am. So point number one, joint patents. What is this concept, audience? Okay. So joint patents, it arises when an invention is created through, obviously the name tells you, combined intellectual effort of multiple contributors. Um, Typically again from different disciplines or different institutions. And as we already discussed in IDR, innovations are rarely the result of a single individual. They emerge from collaboration only. So for example, if you are collaborating with other researchers, now one researcher may develop the core concept, another technically refines it, and you are contributing some domain specific expertise. So in such cases, what you can do is you can jointly file the patents. That definitely recognizes all the contributors who all have made a meaningful intellectual input. And practically speaking, before filing, the teams must clearly identify the contributions, and also you should agree on the ownership proportions. This is what is going to guarantee you that all the contributors are receiving the legal recognition, and also you have a fair share of any benefits, be it licensing or commercialization of the revenue, such kind of things. So therefore, again, joint patents are reflecting the reality that modern innovation, it is collective instead of individual. Isn't it? Okay. Ranjana ma'am says registration. Yes, ma'am. Next, we have collaborative inventions. So, what does this mean? It refers to the innovations that are developed through teamwork. So, even before they reach the stage of formal patenting. Means this may include something like prototypes, systems, tools, or even the models that are created by you, the researchers who are working together across disciplines or across the sectors. Now, the main idea here is that innovation emerges through continuous interaction and shared problem solving over having just your independent effort. So, in practical terms, many interdisciplinary projects first they produce the collaborative inventions. Later on, ma'am, as you said, sorry, I missed the name. Yes, Ranjana ma'am. Yes, first they are going to produce the collaborative inventions, then they will refine into patents, products, or technologies, then the registration happens. And these inventions, they demonstrate how different types of knowledge, like technical, social, analytical, how all of them come together to create the solutions that are more comprehensive as well as they are applicable in the real world context. Okay. Then participants, are you aware of TTOs, Technology Transfer Offices? Point number 3. Are you aware of technology transfer offices? Anybody? Impasse. Sorry, sir, I didn't get what it is. Prasanna Kumar, sir. Others? So you're speaking about the Indian Partnership for Advanced Scientific Systems. Is it that, sir? Prasanna Kumar, sir? All right. Okay. Yes, Impasse also, that is it is promoting interdisciplinary as well as collaborative research only. Correct. Across the institutions, we have it in India as well as internationally. Correct, sir. What about others? Are you aware of the TTOs? Yes, sir, you are right, Prasanna Kumar, sir. So, technology transfer offices are nothing but they are something like some specialized units that are embedded within the universities and the research institutions. Means they especially handle the process of taking the research from lab to the market. Means the technology transfer offices, their role is to identify the innovations with the potential value and to protect them through the patents or copyrights and then connect them with the industry partners, especially for the marketization. See, in actual practice, when a researcher or a team develops a new idea or technology, the TTO it evaluates what is its usefulness. It manages the legal process of the IP protection, intellectual property protection. And also these offices they negotiate the agreements with companies or organizations which are actually interested in using those concepts. So in IDR, where innovations involve multiple contributors and there are some complex outputs. Now TTOs, they also play an important role. How? Because they are organizing the ownership, they are managing the rights, and they are ensuring that the innovations are effectively translated into some sort of practical applications. Then we have IPR, intellectual property rights ownership in multi-author research. So this deals with how intellectual property rights are shared and managed when many contributors are involved. See, in interdisciplinary projects, contributions are generally interconnected. Means again, it is making it difficult to separate the inputs from each and every individual. So to address this, ownership is usually defined through some sort of formal agreements at the beginning of the project itself. Means this outlines who owns what, how rights are shared, and how benefits will be distributed, and so on. Plus, this also upholds transparency and it just prevents any kind of disputes later on. Apart from that, it is also going to build the trust among those collaborators. because as everyone knows, their contributions are recognized and protected. Now, without such kind of clarity, even your successful research outcomes, it may lead to conflicts. Means this is making this particular aspect essential for sustaining the collaboration and also to ensure there is fairness. So research creates ideas, but intellectual property, it ensures that those ideas are protected, they are shared fairly, and also they are transformed into meaningful outcomes. Agree? Yes. Then we have interdisciplinary research and patents. Yes, ma'am. I will share the PPTs with Dr. Bennett, sir, later on after my session. So I'll just take up all the questions towards the end. Hope that that works fine. Yeah. Now we have interdisciplinary research and patents. Now this emphasizes how combining knowledge from multiple fields, it can lead to innovations that are strong enough to be legally protected and which are like commercially valuable. See, in today's world, many breakthrough inventions, they are not coming from a single discipline, but it actually comes from the intersection of fields. Take even big companies like Apple, Samsung, they file the patents that combine design, electronics, software, user experience. This itself is showing us how interdisciplinary thinking can drive innovation, isn't it? So patents protect such inventions by making sure that the creators have exclusive rights over their ideas. It is just allowing them to benefit from monetization. So this title essentially it reflects how IDR can transform the ideas into protected or high impact innovations. Then we have cross domain innovation. This happens when knowledge from different disciplines is combined to create something entirely new. Why this is important? Because patents, it requires innovations to be novel and non-obvious. Correct? And interdisciplinary work naturally produces such kind of outcomes only. So do you all remember any examples for this cross-domain innovation? Can you name a few, audience? We are speaking about the cross-domain innovation, point number 1. Yeah, Prasanna Kumar sir, yes. USPTO, you're asking about it? Yes, it is from the United States Patent and Trademark Office only. So you can call it like it is a federal agency of United States that is mainly responsible for granting the patents, and also you can register the trademarks with them. It is protecting the mainly your IP, and it is definitely promoting the innovation. Correct. Yeah, many of you have been wishing good evening since a long time. Good evening, all. Yeah. Yes, I was just asking you, do you remember any examples regarding the cross-domain innovation? Anything that quickly comes to your mind? Dr. Arun Kumar sir says data transfer. Okay, sir. Others? Let it be from any industry, no problem. Any such kind of innovation that you have come across that immediately strikes your mind. See, there are like multiple innovations. Say, for example, we have Tesla's electric vehicles. Everybody is aware of that. So, when we speak about Tesla's EV, they are not just the mechanical inventions. But if you look at it properly, they integrate electrical engineering. There is battery technology. There are software systems as well as environmental science in it. Correct? Because it's an EV. So this combination, it creates innovations like advanced battery management systems or even that autonomous driving features. So many of which they are again patented. And in reality, this shows that when disciplines intersect, they generate solutions that are more innovative, more applicable, and more likely to qualify for patent protection again. Yes. Next, the integration of artificial intelligence and healthcare. So, as we all know, this has led to some of the most impactful patentable innovations in the recent years. Say, for instance, do you all know about the Google Health's AI systems, which can analyze medical images such as the mammograms, mainly to detect the breast cancer earlier than even our traditional methods? Are you aware of this? Even I remember IBM Watson Health that has developed an AI tools to mainly assist the doctors in diagnosis as well as to plan for the treatments. See, even these innovations are patented because they introduce new methods of analyzing medical data and also improving the healthcare delivery, isn't it? So, in real world practice, such technologies are already being used in hospitals, in the diagnostic centers. It is showing to us that interdisciplinary research, it leads to advanced medical technologies with strong patent value as well. Then we have the combination of engineering and biotechnology. As we all know, it has resulted in the development of advanced bioservices that interact with our human body. So you must all be knowing about this well-known example of CGM system, the continuous glucose monitoring system that is used by a US-based healthcare technology company that is known as Dexcom, DEXCOM. So these services, I'm speaking about the CGM, continuous glucose monitoring. These devices, it combines the sensor engineering, data processing, biological understanding to continuously track the blood sugar levels in the diabetic patients. Even if you consider the pacemakers, so it integrates the electronics with the biological systems. Then they can regulate the heart function. Am I right? So these innovations are patented because they involve unique designs and mechanisms that bridge the technology and biology. So such devices, they have transformed healthcare by providing us the real-time monitoring and also improving the outcomes of the patients. Then the collaboration between universities and industry, it has become a major driver of patentable innovation. See, for example, the development of the COVID-19 vaccines. We had Pfizer, which is a global pharmaceutical giant. Then we have BioNTech, that is a German biotech firm. And then we had Moderna, correct? A US-based biotechnology firm. So they all of them, they had a strong collaboration between academic research institutions and their pharmaceutical companies. So universities, they contributed the foundational research in mRNA, the messenger ribonucleic acid, that technology, mRNA technology. And the companies, they handled like large scale testing, production and distribution. Now what happened? These collaborations, it resulted in multiple patents related to vaccine design and delivery systems. Correct? Again and again, this is proving that IDR today, it is not confined to academic spaces only. It is co-created across the institutions and industries. Again, it is leading to innovations that are both scientifically strong as well as commercially viable. Okay, so IDR, it brings ideas together. But patents confirm that these ideas are protected, they are recognized, and also they are translated into real world innovations that benefit all of us. I mean, the society at a large. Okay. Audience, what is the concept of interdisciplinary proposal writing? Anybody? Yes, Sumati ma'am says technology plus education. It creates educational innovations. Definitely, ma'am. Vidushi Mishra ma'am says even in agricultural field, yes, ma'am. You can name any field. There are such kind of innovations as well as patents. Correct. So what do you understand from this interdisciplinary proposal writing? Audience? So, okay. When we speak about interdisciplinary proposal writing, it is the process of designing a research proposal that actually integrates multiple disciplines into, you can call it as one coherent and one purposeful study. See, we have the traditional proposals that actually focus on a single field, correct? But an interdisciplinary proposal, it must clearly show how different domains come together to address a high order real world problem. Means it requires not only identifying the problem, but also it should demonstrate how each discipline is contributing to understanding as well as solving it in a connected way. Okay, just to make this concept more clear, let us just consider one single example throughout all these points. Let us consider developing a smart water management system for cities. Okay, I repeat, just we are taking an example for the purpose of explanation. I said developing a smart water management system for cities. See, we know that this concept, it involves engineering, data science, public policy, and even social behavior. Now, your strong interdisciplinary proposal, it should ensure that all these domains are not working separately, but they must be interlinked within one unified research design. Correct? First thing is framing global relevance. It means clearly establishing why the chosen research problem is important beyond a local or limited context. See, in case of this smart water management system, water scarcity is not just a city level issue. Correct? It's a global challenge that is affecting sustainability, urban planning, and even the concept of resource management comes here. Now, your well written proposal should connect this problem to global concerns like climate change, increasing urbanization, and even you can connect it to the sustainable development goals. Now, why do I say this step is crucial? Because funding agencies and even reviewers, they look for research that can contribute to broader global priorities. And it should demonstrate that your proposed work has significance that actually extends beyond a specific region or case. That must be there in your proposal. Next, defining the integrated objectives. So this involves creating the research goals that reflect the combined contribution of all the disciplines that are involved. You need not have to list like the separate objectives for each field. That need not have to be done. There must be something like combined contribution of all the fields. Now, in the smart water management, same example, see, instead of having independent goals like developing some sensors, analyzing the data, or studying user behavior, here the objective should be framed like, just an example, designing an intelligent water management system that optimizes usage through data monitoring and behavioral interventions. Now, this shows that all the disciplines are working towards the shared outcome. Correct? Means you are making sure that your proposal presents a unified direction over some fragmented efforts. Then we need to have clear methodological synergy. Participants, what is this concept? Point number 3, clear methodological synergy. Okay, Dr. Arun Kumar sir has said sounds. Could you be please be more precise, sir? I could not understand it. Yeah. What do you understand from this clear methodological synergy? Anybody? So it is explaining how different research methods from various disciplines will interact and also support each other throughout your study. In the same example, now engineering methods may be used to develop some sensors for monitoring the water usage. Then data science techniques, they may analyze the consumption patterns. If you bring in the social science methods, they may study how people respond to the conservation measures. So, a strong proposal must clearly describe how all these methods are connected. Say, for instance, how data collected through the sensors, how is it informing the behavioral studies, and how behavioral insights are influencing the system design. Then only this can assure that the your research is not just multi-method, but it is methodologically integrated. Then we definitely understand it can produce more meaningful as well as comprehensive results. Correct? Then we have demonstrating impact and sustainability. So this means showing both the immediate benefits as well as long-term value of your proposed research. See, in the smart water management example, the impact, it may, just an example, it may include the reduced water wastage, improved efficiency in distribution, or the cost savings for the municipalities. And sustainability is, it may involve ensuring that the system can be maintained, it can be scaled, or it can be adapted over time, maybe possibly through the policy support or the community engagement. And this aspect is critical because reviewers, they want to understand whether your research is it actually leading to practical or lasting solutions instead of those some short term or theoretical outcomes. That is their concern. Then we have budget justification across domains. This involves clearly explaining how financial resources are allocated to support different disciplines within the project. So, in the same example, the budget may include costs for sensor development, for the data analysis tools, for undertaking the field surveys, stakeholder engagement, and even for that interdisciplinary coordination. Now, each expense it must be justified in terms of its role in achieving the overall research objective. And this demonstrates that your proposal is not only just intellectually sound, but also it is practically planned and feasible. Means you can see the resources are distributed in a way that is supporting true interdisciplinary integration. Okay, so the interdisciplinary proposal writing is about presenting a research plan where the multiple disciplines are not just included, but they are intelligently integrated to so as to create meaningful and sustainable solutions. Okay. Now, when we talk about the challenges in interdisciplinary research, we are not referring to some minor difficulties, but we are actually referring to the structural, intellectual, as well as systemic barriers that arise when different disciplines attempt to work together. Now, IDR, it just sounds ideal in theory, correct? But in practice, it involves different languages of thinking, different research cultures, different evaluation systems. See, globally, studies have shown that though interdisciplinary papers receive higher long-term citations, still they face higher rejection rates initially. Why? The reason is simple. Because these papers do not fit neatly into the disciplinary boundaries. Simple. So this slide it is about understanding that interdisciplinarity is powerful, but it is also inherently dynamic and demanding. First, we have terminology differences. See, when we say different disciplines use the same words differently, now it may seem very minor to us, but it can actually create serious confusion. Let us take one word, model, MODEL, model. Now, in computer science, a model usually means an algorithm or a mathematical system, something that processes data and that gives predictions. In social sciences, a model, it refers to a conceptual framework, means a way of explaining the human behavior or social patterns. Now, imagine a computer scientist and a sociologist, they both are working together. When one of them says, let us improve the model, that person may be thinking about computation and accuracy. Now, other person, he or she may be thinking about theoretical explanations and assumptions. So even though they are using the same word, what is happening here? They are actually talking about two different things. And this can lead to definitely misalignment right from the start. And this becomes even more critical in large scale global collaborations like the IPCC, the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change. We all know about it. That is a scientific body that has been established by the United Nations as well as from the World Meteorological Organization. Now, what happens here in the IPCC? The scientists, economists, policy experts, all of them, they work together. But actually, the key terms mean different things to them. If we say risk, for a climate scientist, it means the probability of an event, something like a flood or an earthquake. For an economist, it may seem like potential financial loss, risk. Similarly, take the word uncertainty. So, for scientists, this is like limits of data or measurement. For policymakers, it means uncertainty means there is difficulty, they are not able to make decisions. Take the simple English word impact. For us, what is the impact it is making in a layman terms? For scientists, it means environmental changes. For policymakers, it may mean like social or economic consequences. So initially, teams do not just struggle with the problem, they actually struggle to understand each other's language itself. Do you know? And that's why IDR, it is not just about combining knowledge, it is also about aligning the meaning, language, and even our perspectives. Studies from the interdisciplinary research in the US, United States, and Europe, they have found that teams they spend 20 to 30% of their initial project time just in aligning their terminology as well as in their conceptual understanding, it seems. 20 to 30% of their initial time, project time is gone in this. So this shows that before solving the problem, researchers must first learn how to understand each other. Would you all agree? Yes or no? Yes, of course. Yes. Then we have methodological conflicts. Say different disciplines, they follow different methods of generating knowledge. And again, this may lead to some sort of conflict. Say, for example, in medical research, uh, randomized control trials, they are considered something like the gold standard there, correct, in medical research. In sociology, maybe the qualitative interviews, the ethnographic studies, they are equally valid. Now, when these disciplines collaborate, what will happen? Disagreements are surely they are going to arise because at first itself they have doubts like what counts as valid evidence, how data should be collected, how results should be interpreted. Correct. Even you can witness the same in the public health policy research because their epidemiologists they rely on the statistical data, but social scientists they emphasize on the community narratives. What happened during the COVID-19 pandemic? This tension actually it became globally visible because data-driven models sometimes they fail to capture the human behavior, and this led to the gaps in the policy implementation. The research from the institutions even like Harvard, WHO, the World Health Organization, the collaborations between them, it has shown that integrating the methods, it requires not compromise, but the methodological negotiation and redesign. But one thing, this is time consuming and intellectually demanding. Okay. Then we have publication barriers. See, publishing IDR is one of the most difficult challenges, I say. Most academic journals are still discipline specific, and interdisciplinary work does not fully fit their scope. What happens as a result? Reviewers may not understand all the aspects of your work, and papers will be rejected for being like too broad, or they say simply say it is not your paper is not focused enough. So even a global study that was published in the Nature journal, it indicated that interdisciplinary papers have higher initial rejection rates. Even though they tend to achieve some higher citation impact over the time, this is the condition initially. See, if you take research that is combining artificial intelligence and ethics, it struggles to find appropriate journals. Do you know? Why? Because it does not fully belong to either computer science or completely it is not belonging to philosophy also. And this creates a situation where researchers must not only you should do complex work, but also you should strategically position it for publication. How do you do that? This is an additional burden on you as researchers. And another major challenge lies in how research is evaluated and rewarded. See, academic systems, they still rely heavily on the journal rankings. They look into the impact factors as well as the discipline specific benchmarks only. Now, the interdisciplinary research or your interdisciplinary work does not perform well in such kind of traditional metrics. Initially, that does not uh, gel with because it may be published in a newer or in some cross disciplinary journals, and it may even take longer to gain recognition. Say for instance, we have REF, the United Kingdom's research excellence framework. Okay, this is a system in the UK mainly to evaluate the quality and impact of research that is actually conducted by the universities and higher education institutions. Now, studies from this REF, Research Excellence Framework, they have shown that IDR is, I mean, the interdisciplinary research, it is harder to evaluate because it does not align with the standard disciplinary criteria at all. And as a result, what is happening? Researchers may hesitate to engage in such kind of interdisciplinary work because we all have concerns about our promotions, the funding success, and even we want to gain the academic recognition. Correct. So the system itself sometimes discourages the very research what it is claiming to promote. Okay, are we on the same page? Audience? Are we on the same page? Are the things clear so far? All right. And finally, IDR, what is happening? It creates complexities in authorship and citation practices also. I'll tell you, when multiple disciplines are involved, first thing, what will we ask? Who is the first author? Who gets primary credit? How are contributions measured? You tell me, how do you solve this problem? Even in large scale collaborations like the genomics research, or we have CERN projects. So this is a French expansion. Council European pour la Recherche Nucléaire means CERN. It is a European research organization that actually conducts large scale experiments, especially in particle physics. And main thing is they have the global scientific collaboration. Now, the scientific papers, they may have hundreds of authors due to the highly collaborative nature of the work that is involved. So, it is really difficult to assess the individual contributions. Similarly, citation patterns also differ across the disciplines. Maybe engineering papers, they may have fewer references, but social science papers, they have extensive citations. This is again creating confusion in evaluating the contribution as well as impact. So research from global academic publishing bodies also show that interdisciplinary papers mostly face inconsistent citation recognition because they are cited differently across fields. And we all do not want this to happen. So we are not touching IDR, correct? So beyond doing the research as scholars, you all must navigate credit, recognition, then fairness issues, which are not always straightforward. See, IDR is not difficult, I would like to say. It is not difficult because of the problem. It is difficult because it requires integration of different ways of thinking, working, and also evaluating the knowledge. Correct? Though interdisciplinary research, it holds the key to solving the interrelated global challenges. It also demands that we rethink how we communicate, how we collaborate, publish, and even evaluate the knowledge itself. Yes. Now, future directions is not just about the trends, it is about where research itself is evolving. And we are, as we all know, we all are moving from isolated knowledge to connected intelligence systems, individual researchers to global research ecosystems. So please understand the future of IDR, it is not just optional, it is becoming the default model of knowledge creation. We have digital transformation of research. See, research, it is no longer confined to labs, libraries, or those physical data sets. It is becoming fully digital, dynamic, and it is continuously changing. So digital platforms now, they are allowing for real-time data collection, and there is cloud-based cooperation and simulation-driven experimentation also. Say, for instance, we have fields like material science, then we have drug discovery. They are more and more using the digital twins as well as the simulation environments, mainly to test the hypothesis before their physical implementation. Now, this shift, it is reducing the time, it is reducing cost, and there is almost some limited uncertainty. Now, more importantly, it allows different disciplines to plug into the same digital ecosystem. What do you say? And this is making integration much more faster and more seamless than ever before. Then we have AI-enabled interdisciplinary analytics. See, artificial intelligence, it is not just a tool. It is becoming a bridge between disciplines. And AI, it can process vast amounts of data from completely different fields. Text, images, biological signals, economic patterns. And it can find that the connections that even we as human researchers we may miss. Say, for example, artificial intelligence, it is now being used to link the genetic data with our lifestyle patterns and environmental factors. Means it is creating insights that span biology, there is medicine, and even social science. So this transforms research from analysis to intelligent synthesis. Means knowledge is not just studied, but it is actively combined and expanded. Then we have global virtual research labs. The future lab, it is not a place. I would like to say it is a network. Do you all agree? Yes? I said future lab, it is nothing like a confined space. It is a network. Of course. See, because researchers across continents are now collaborating in real time, especially we are getting connected through the virtual environments, shared data sets, and even the digital infrastructure. See, even the large-scale astronomy and space research projects, already they operate as globally distributed labs only. Means here the data is collected in one country and it is being analyzed in another. So this is removing the geographical barriers and it is allowing the best minds to collaborate regardless of their location. And the result is a shift from the institutional research to borderless, network-driven knowledge creation. In the traditional model of the restricted access to knowledge, it is rapidly changing now. Because the open science movement, it promotes free access to research, data, and methodologies. Means it is allowing the wider participation as well as faster innovation. And we have platforms that are providing open data sets, open access journals. They are allowing the researchers from even developing regions to contribute to the global research. And I would like to say this democratization of knowledge, it is particularly important for our IDR, interdisciplinary work. Because integration, it becomes easier when information is accessible, when it is transparent and shareable across the domains. Correct? And we all know about this. Future research is increasingly being aligned with the Global Impact Framework, particularly the SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals. Correct? So, this means research is no longer evaluated only on academic merit, but also on its ability to solve the real world problems, be it climate change, inequality, health, sustainability, and so on. And IDR, it becomes central here because these challenges cannot be addressed by a single field. Again, we come to the same point. For example, even achieving the clean energy goals. As we all know, it requires the integration of engineering. There must be economics, policy, environmental science. And this alignment, it safeguards that research moves beyond theory to purpose-driven, impact-oriented action. And the future of research, it is not about knowing more. It is about connecting knowledge faster, deeper, and more intelligently than ever before. So, interdisciplinary research is not the future of research. It is the foundation on which the future will be built. Am I right? So, to conclude, um, let me leave you with one thought. See, throughout this discussion, we have not just explored a concept. We have examined a shift in how knowledge itself is being created, how it is being validated and applied. Correct? The boundaries that once defined disciplines, they are gradually, what is happening with it? They are becoming less rigid, and in their place, we are seeing the rise of fluid knowledge systems. Means ideas move, they interact and evolve across domains. Now, what this means for us as researchers is a change in our mindset. See, it is no longer sufficient if we ask, what does my discipline, my field, my subject, my domain say? The more powerful question today is, what does that particular problem demand? Means which you are trying to solve that problem. See, because real world problems, they do not organize themselves according to our academic departments. Correct? And they exist in complexity and they require our adaptability, openness, as well as what you call as intellectual flexibility. And at the same time, interdisciplinary research, it is not just about combining knowledge. It is all about building new ways of thinking. And it challenges us to step outside our familiar frameworks, to engage with uncertainty, and also to work in spaces where answers are not immediately clear to us. And that is where meaningful research actually begins. So, as you move forward, whether you are writing, teaching, or conducting research, just think of interdisciplinarity not just as an approach, but as a capability. A capability to connect, to integrate, and to respond to complexity with clarity. And see, great research, it does not come from knowing more. It comes from connecting what we know in ways that truly matter. Okay. And with that, I now open the floor for any questions or discussions. Do we have any questions? I'll just check the chat box.
Yes, dear
Uh,
participants, now the group is open for discussion. If you are having any doubt, you can ask. Ma'am, there is a question in the chat box on behalf
yes,
of
sir.
Sumati Subramanian.
Okay.
Ma'am, could you suggest good resources for references of interdisciplinary research projects and research papers in educational excellence?
Yeah, Sumati ma'am. Uh, for interdisciplinary education research, we have Eric. I'll just type it here, ma'am. ERIC, the Education Resources Information Center. This is one of the largest global databases for education, ma'am. If I'm not wrong, there is some 1.5 plus million records are there, and it is definitely best for your peer-reviewed papers, for your policy reports, and even case studies. Then Scopus and Web of Science is always there. It is definitely best for the high-impact interdisciplinary publications and even for the citation tracking also. Then we have ProQuest and please sync info. I'll just type it here, ma'am. ProQuest and yes. So these two are useful when your research actually, when you have an intersection between education, psychology, as well as social sciences. So apart from that, some interdisciplinary journals, if I have to name in interdisciplinary education means you have a Journal of Interdisciplinary Studies in Education that is there, which covers actually education, technology, policy, health, and you can also see some strong global contributions there in those journals. And there is interdisciplinary research in education. You can go with that journal. If I'm not wrong, archives of interdisciplinary education, ma'am. Probably the focus is on STEM as well as humanities. AI is also there in education, plus policy is there. Apart from this, you can check the international organizations reports also from the UNESCO. So this will be giving you the global reports, especially on interdisciplinary education as well as the policy frameworks. Then you have the OECD. It gives you about the future skills, innovation, as well as it mentions about the interdisciplinary learning systems also. You can also go for DOAJ, Directory of Open Access Journals. So you will be having some free access to the quality journals. You can check there. Okay, Sumati ma'am. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Any other questions to be asked?
I see one more question here.
Okay.
Uh, Vidu, yeah, Vidushi Mishra, ma'am. She's asking, ma'am, how to review literature from different fields effectively. Okay, ma'am. So first thing you have to start with the clear anchor of the problem, ma'am. So instead of thinking, say, in terms of disciplines, try to think in terms of a research problem. See, in interdisciplinary work, your research questions should guide your literature. And it is nothing to do with the discipline. Say, for example, if you say digital learning outcomes, it may involve education in it, there may be psychology, there may also be data science in it. Now, what you have to do next? Try to identify the key disciplines that are involved. Try to break your topic into the relevant domains, whether it is education, psychology, technology, or artificial intelligence, sociology. Then you start to explore how each field is approaching the same problem differently, like what we discussed. Then what you have to do in, especially in IDR, so you have to learn the language of each field. Means different disciplines, as we discussed, they'll be using different terminology for the similar ideas. Correct? Uh, so, one thing you have to just build something like a keyword map for each field before you search. Then you can definitely make use of the multiple databases also. For education, I told you a few databases here. And for psychology, whichever I have just typed it here, ma'am, Psych Info, that you can check. And for multidisciplinary, always we have Scopus and Web of Science. You need not have to just rely on any single source, ma'am, because diversity of the databases, it will be giving you some depth of your review will be good. Then you just try to focus on the themes, ma'am, not just on the papers. So instead of you summarizing paper by paper, what you do is try to group the literature into concepts, theories, methods, findings. Then try to synthesize them. You don't just stop at summarizing them. Okay. Then start comparing the perspectives across the fields. Please ask yourself, like, how does each discipline define this problem? What methods are they using? And where do they actually agree or conflict? Hope you remember that we discussed all these points. because this is where the true interdisciplinarity is going to emerge. Then you can use a structured review framework. Means you can use Prisma for the systematic reviews. You can even go ahead with the thematic analysis, or you can do the concept mapping. So all your points will be clear, and you can maintain a rigor also. Then apart from this, you can keep some literature matrix. And I mean, you can have a table with the author, discipline, the method, uh, key findings, as well as what is the relevance to your study. So this is going to avoid any sort of confusions when you are dealing with such kind of multiple fields. Okay, ma'am? Okay, Vidushi, ma'am. Did I answer your question? All right, ma'am. So I see so many positive responses. Thank you to you all. I'm just checking for if there are any other questions.
Ma'am, ma'am, are you there? Ready, ma'am? Ma'am, are you there?
So Preeti ma'am is asking, ma'am, from which journal we can access the article? I mean, if this is in relation to the previous question, or how is it, ma'am? Suppose it is for education, means you can go ahead with interdisciplinary studies in education, or journal of studies in international education. If I'm not audience, please mute yourselves. And for even high impact multidisciplinary journals in nature, science, I'll just type it here, no? Science.
Finish
So
it.
because these multidisciplinary
Finish
journals, they are publishing cutting edge interdisciplinary research across many fields, ma'am. You can definitely access that. You can also go with the DOAJ, as I told you, Directory of Open Access Journals, and there is free access to thousands of peer-reviewed journals, ma'am. And you can go ahead with the International Journal of Multidisciplinary Education Research also. That is also accessible and relevant for your interdisciplinary topic. So you have like
दूध दूध लगा नहीं मैंने तो तेज लगा
Dr. Bennett, sir. All right. Ma'am, you have asked me like where to access these journals. You can use the different platforms like Google Scholar or Scopus or Web of Science. So these are your search tools, not the journals only. Okay. Yes, ma'am. Okay, Preeti, ma'am.
Hello, sir. Good evening, sir.
Yes, ma'am, you're audible, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Sir, when you permit me?
Yeah, you can start, ma'am.
Okay. Good evening to everyone. Myself, Dr. Rashmi G. Vasha Krutman, respected dignitaries, eminent resource persons, esteemed organizing secretary, and committee members, and research scholars, guest faculty, dear participants. Very pleasant good evening to one and all. It's my proud and privilege to propose a vote of thanks on this momentous occasion of the valedictory function of the 12 days online international workshop on research methodology, citation, practice, patents, intellectual property rights, and proposal writing. Hello, sir.
Yes, ma'am, you're audible, ma'am. You're
Hello.
audible. You're audible. Dr. Rashmi, you
Yes,
are
sir.
audible.
Yes, sir. Sometime. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. At the outset, I express my deepest sense of gratitude to our Honorable Inaugural Speaker, Associate Professor Dr. ABD Gafur, sir, Employed Vice Dean, Faculty of Education and Teacher Training, State Islamic University, Madrasa, Indonesia. Sir, your inspiring words and presence set a meaningful tone for this international academic journey. I extend my heartfelt thanks to Dr. Honor K. Vasudevan, founder and managing director, research and development cell, IIT, Integrated Institute of Disaster Management, Velpuram, Tamil Nadu. Sir, your visionary leadership, continuous encouragement, and unwavering support have been made the backbone of this successful workshop. I would like to sincerely thanks to all our distinguished resource persons Dr. Rakesh Thakur, sir, Associate Professor, Department of Sociology, Postgraduate, Government College, Chandigarh. Dr. Anu Ann Spice, Assistant Professor, Indian Institute of Psychology and Research, Bangalore. And Dr. R.K. Balasubramanian, Assistant Professor, Tyagaraja College, of Preceptors, Madurai. And Dr. Subhashini, Assistant Professor, Senior Grade, Savita Engineering College, Chennai. Dr. Arul Akvin Raj, Assistant Professor, Sri Ramakrishna Mission Vidyalaya College, Coimbatore. Dr. Janaki MC, Associate Professor and Head, Kalyana Singham, Academy of Research and Education. Dr. Anuja Shah, Founder and Director, Goodging Consultancy, Mumbai. And Dr. Sri Ranjini Mokshagundam, Professor of Management, PGS, P School, Bengaluru. Your intellectual contributions, excellence have enriched this workshop immensely, ma'am. A very special note of gratitude goes to our dedicated organizing secretaries, Ms. Jerlyn Pakirani, Bishop Caldwell College, Thoothukudi, and Dr. Kaya Hasmi, Anjuman College, Vijayapura, and Dr. Rashmi, myself, G. Vasha Krutmat, Karnataka State Kamadi Women University, Vijayapur, and Dr. Maunesh Badigir, sir, Government First Grade College and PG Center, Harvard, Dr. Nidhi Swarup, Guru Nanak College, National College, Punjab, and Dr. My heartfelt appreciation goes to all the faculty members, research scholars, participants across the state and country. Your active participation and enthusiasm made this workshop meaningful and vibrant. As we conclude this 12 days enriching academic journey, we carry with us a valuable knowledge, research, insight, and inspiration that will guide us in our future academic and professional endeavors. Finally, I thank each and every individual who has directly or indirectly contributed to this success of this workshop. With great gratitude in our hearts and knowledge in our minds, we conclude this wonderful journey. Thank you, one and
Thank you, Rashmi ma'am. I would like to
Yes.
first sincerely thank all the participants for your valuable time and energy for all these days. And I also extend my heartfelt gratitude to all the esteemed organizing institutions for organizing such a valuable and enriching workshop. And my special note of thanks always goes to Dr. Bennett Rajdurai sir for this kind invitation. And thank you all once again and good night.
Yes, ma'am. So, dear participants, here it comes, the last day of the event. And yeah, I was so surprised and I was so emotional because from tomorrow onwards, I won't able to host any event. There was no more event, and we are having one event on May only. International Faculty Development Program for 60 hours. It is 4 credit course. It has a UGC according to the NAC value. So we're preparing everything. In the month of January 24, suddenly I got a massive heart issue. We have scheduled this event in the month of February. So most probably all the resource persons knows. Uh, Suddenly heart attack came and I was admitted in a hospital. Doctor told to go for open heart surgery. And they told till May you're not supposed to talk. I said, doctor, I have to talk for 12 days. Then he told you can talk but talk slowly. Right? I will tell you only one thing, dear faculty members, my dear loving students and scholars. There is two options as there. One is dedication, right? And another one is commitment. Dedication is different, commitment is different, right? I want to talk to you all. That is why I was giving my last speech on the last day. I whenever I used to prepare the syllabus, first of all, I will be getting ready for all the classes. If anybody is not able to come, immediately I will be able to take the classes because all those classes are taken by me, and I am the research and development cell coordinator for 7.5 years, and I worked for Nirmala Niketan, one of the reputed institution in India. Right? Two things. One is dedication, and another one is commitment. Dedication, sir, I will come, sir. I will do something, sir. Dedication. Commitment. I will do, sir, and I have to do, sir. That is what called as commitment mean. And when everyone told me that Bennett, you please take rest, we will postpone all the events. I said impossible. We have started collecting fee from the participants, and we can't cheat them. What participant will think about me, and how can I show to the public that after taking money from the participants, and then what was that? After taking money from the participants, how can I claim that I felt sick? I said impossible. I will run the show because whenever the show goes, I will be the one who says good morning participants, good evening participants, and you should remember my timing. Bennett is very rigid with time. We'll start by 6 and end by 8 o'clock. Today I told you very clearly. Today is the validity session, so it may extend up to 9. So don't forget it. Don't work for dedication. You cross another level. It is called as commitment. I have committed to someone. I have to do that. It is more than a dedication. If you are able to work on that level, you are you are in the pipeline of another level, right? Regarding your feedback, regarding your certificate, don't worry. We won't cheat. We never cheat. We never cheated. We got fooled. We got cheated. That's another thing. But we never cheat anyone, right? IIDM never cheats anyone. All your certificates was ready. Tomorrow we will dispatch into the consignment, and we will put you the list of participants who are eligible for the certificate in the group itself. Right. Apart from that, if you feel that your name is not there, if you have any complications, please let us know immediately. We are there to assist you. We are there to assist you. Again and again, I will tell you, we are here to serve you and to assist you. Right? So, requesting you all to Kado Putugama, class Vetrama, requesting you all to follow the what was that the protocols very strictly. We will give a certificate for sure. Telecast certificate will be just packed in a beautiful way. And again, we have given two covers. Is was supposed to get here at any point of view. Won't get damaged and you'll reach out right time. We'll give you the soft copy also. Meanwhile, if you want soft copy also, please let me know. Then also we are ready to help you. Whatever you want, you ask us. Ask and you will be given. That is the only thing from Bennett said. And apart from that, many elders are there. Many younger people are there. छोटे लोग है बड़े लोग है बड़े लोग बड़े तो बड़े लोग है So elder people are also there and very happy to see my people in the sense people, a person from disability category. It's a proud moment that this time we got nearly about 61 participants. 61 participants came to my seminar, my workshop for free of cost. Right, I'm very happy. Right, if I can keep money means I can keep money, but I don't want that money. Let my people also come to the mainstream. I myself struggling like anything to come to the mainstream. You people are students and scholars. Getting money from you, I'm not going to gain anything. I'm not going to build any building. I have earned enough people. If I fell down, uh, people are ready to take care of me. So in that case, I'm really happy the way the people are taken care. When I was fell sick, the first help came from Manipur. When nobody is interested to go to Manipur to host a show, I went alone. I'm a disability person. I went alone to Manipur and host an international show. Right, the first help came from Manipur. The Manipur people showed lot of love. They gave me 44,000 rupees. Not 1 rupees, 2 rupees, 44,000. My 1 month ka salary they give. Right? Apart from that, many people helped to me. Day after tomorrow, I'm going for my fourth checkup. Still, I'm having it was a blood issue. Blood was not completely mingled with my body, and the doctor told me to take a rest. Complete rest only hereafter. Anyway, pray for me and remember me in your prayers also. Definitely, you are going to miss me or not. I am going to miss you all people like anything because I'm not supposed to go anywhere. Simply sitting in my bedroom and now till May I have to wait for another level. We are having another international event in the month of May. Please do join, and we are not money oriented. We won't charge you more. We will charge only minimum charge. That also money also we used to give for the resource person for online as well as international resource person for offline, their tickets booking, their visa charges, hospitality, accommodation. So a lot of charges are there. That is the only thing we used to take money from you, right? And I will tell you only one thing: God will make a way where there seems to be no way. Okay, so don't worry. God had given me enough courage and knowledge to bounce back. Good strength and was it courage to bounce back. I was working, and thank you so much for all your prayers. And still, I have to go to 2 more blood checkups. Once everything is done, they will allow to move. Anyway, it will take 6 months for me to come. I will resume to duty by July. Till that, I have to be under mother's control. So pray for me. I also am praying for you. Once again, thank you so much for trusting us and coming for this international event. We love you and we respect you. Huge love to the entire people. And God bless all of you. Thank you so much once again. Ending the meeting for all.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Please take rest. It seems you
Yes,
should
ma'am.
take too much of
Thank you.
stress right now because from almost 3